Marie, you mentioned that your profit has doubled. Would you like to basically share a little bit more what's working well for you and how has that happened so other people can learn from you as well?
Yeah, thank you, Gagan. It's actually tripled. When I went back and did my accounts and looked at the first quarter compared to the previous 9 months, I was doing my yearly accounts. Since January, yeah, my average monthly profits have tripled, which is always enlightening to me because I hate doing my accounts, but it's definitely a motivator when I see that on paper and in the bank balance. What's worked for me, several things, to be honest with you. I think I've written down a few points. Definitely from doing this course, I've got more clarity, which has helped me frame my questions. I'm asking more questions and the right questions, but it's also helped me in my marketing with my elevator pitch and being more clear as just giving me that intention, a better intention of how to go about my conversations with people. But also I love the ABC, always be closing. That is something, it's a little mantra in the back of my mind. But consistency is a big thing for me. It's something I struggled with, but actually doing this course, turning up every week, listening to the lessons and applying it every day with a millionaire mind shift formula is giving me more focus, getting myself organized better. It's giving me more energy. And just with that focus and energy is meaning that I'm actually building confidence as well. So I'm doing more. I'm doing more of the activity that's actually bringing in the money.
That's fantastic.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
sharing. Thank you, Marie. Could you please give Marie a big round of applause for, implementing and making more money? That's fantastic. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share your wins and share with the other, family in this room that what's working well for you? Anybody else? I know, Kale, you are winning massively, right? So would you like to share something?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah, so I've done the same, kind of looked back at the last few months and kind of seen the progress, because the numbers don't lie, do they? So yeah, I managed to have 100% increase in my business, which is amazing. And it's just about trying new things. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't, but if you don't try, you don't know whether it's going to work. So, and I find that different areas work for different people. So I've been trying to do lots of events to try and meet more people, get back out there into communities and get pampering people and, giving a bit of self-care, giving a bit of my time, but at the same time, my knowledge. And then it's been working really successfully. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. Could you please give Kale a big round of applause for making it happen? Well done. Well done for your hard work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to share? I know, Amy, I know you're doing quite well as well. Would you like to share, please, what's working well for you so other people can learn and they can implement the similar stuff as well?
Yeah, I think that's been it. It's been really breaking down the barriers for me in terms of things that I've blown up in my mind to be barriers to help me to continue. Is what you've helped me do is to just disassemble those basically, and then put in place this new simpler systems to deal with all elements of my business, and that's helped hugely. Even just an exercise where I was saying to you about the time management side of things, and that I understood the time management principles, but I was still struggling with, what I should be getting other people to do. And then we wrote down that list of a project from start to finish, and then picking out the bits that I most enjoy, and then working out who else I can give them to. And now that's my reference for where I want to get to, so that I can gradually knock off each of those jobs that someone else can easily do, and then it puts less pressure on me to do all those, and then frees up my time to do more sales calls and generate more revenue. So and then we were looking at the cash flow as well, which has been I had a cash flow sheet already, but the new format that you were showing me yesterday sort of gets everything all in one place, and I can very quickly at a glance see where I am with things. So things like that, just simplifying the business systems and putting into place the things that are there already, and referring back to the sales success system tools has been amazing, working really well.
What kind of increase did you have in the last 90 days, within just 90 days of implementing the stuff you have learned from here?
It's like 400%. It's just phenomenal.
She's been shying away. She goes, so it's only 400%. Could you please give Amy a big round of applause for increasing income or profits actually to 400%? Well done, Amy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, the reason why I do this, right, is purely so all of you can get the belief that people are winning. All you got to do is listen, implement. You get stuck, come on call. The coaching and coaching and mentoring calls will help you overcome those challenges. You're here to make money, and we are helping you making money. By the way, how many of you have become more sales focused now? When you go into the meeting, raise your hand. Yeah, you're not chatting anymore. You're not wasting time anymore. You are going with the mindset, you know what, this is business. I'm investing my time and knowledge into it. I want to add value and I want to get paid. Yes or no? Right? Fantastic. That's awesome. Is there anybody else before we move further? Anybody else want to share something? Oh, yes, Nick. Nick raised hand. So yeah, Nick, what would you like to share? Hi, Nick. Did you raise your hand, Nick? You want to share something? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think Nick is
muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I've got nothing to share.
Oh, okay. Because I saw your hand. Maybe that was frozen. I thought you wanted to share something. That's all. Fantastic. Thank you. Good. Shall we begin? Value versus price. Value versus price. So before I share my knowledge on this, I want to ask you, what is value? What is value? What is value? Anyone? Yes, Adam?
Offering more to your customer, so you don't have to. Well, yeah, that's it. Offering more to your customers.
Offering more to your customers. Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? What are you offering? What are you giving to your customers?
Giving them something new, aren't you?
Is it something about what you feel the worth is?
Okay, thank you. We'll cover that. Thank you. What is value and what is price? Yes,
I would say value is a perception by the client of what is it. You could potentially say that what your perception of value is different to the client's perception of value, because the client sees the price, but the actual cost to you is a lot less than the client might perceive, because the client has to pay more.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Now, have you heard of this like add more value, add more value. Have you heard this on YouTube? Every single person is talking about, you want to make money, add more value. You want to do this, add more value. But people don't even know, most people don't know what value means. How can you add more of something which you don't know what it is, right? So I want you to become absolutely clear on what is value. So Barry, you raised your hand, right?
It's just value can be good value, it can be bad value. It's simply the relationship between, what you pay and what you receive. That's simply the relationship. Doesn't make value doesn't have to be good. It can be as bad as whatever. But it's just that relationship between cost or your money and what you receive.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Barry. Anybody else? You all are in business. Yes, Jeanette, and then Joanne.
I would say it's being able to ensure that your customer is completely satisfied, that you have provided something which is to their expectation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jeanette. And Joanne.
Yeah, I was going to sort of say a variation on that really, which is, it's personal. So the value you can give to somebody depends on what the change you've made for them. So, you can give somebody one sentence of wisdom, and if it makes their difference and it solves a pain point for them, then they probably, feel they've got great value from you. Whereas for the next person, you might have to spend a month working with them to give them the same kind of value. So I think it's very personal and depends on each person's situation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? What's your views or understanding on value? Anyone else? Yes, Keith?
Yeah, I think it's the perception, well, not the perception, it's giving the customer what they want as opposed to what you want to give them.
Okay, so giving customer what they want rather than what you want to give. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Yes, Marie?
Not really sure how to put it into words, but I suppose it's a positive impact that you're having on that person. That's the only way I can think about, something they're going to appreciate, your positive impact, whatever that is.
Okay, great. Peter?
Yeah, I think what it is, if you say buy a car from somebody, that's got a value that almost as soon as you drive it away could go down. But what we can give to clients, in theory, doesn't have a monetary figure like a car, but we're giving them something that could make more money for them than the actual cost of the item.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Now, listen, how many ways can you see that different people, different way of explaining or taking the information? Because one word, value, so many variations of and so many understanding of the value, right? Now, I want you to, one person to go on Google, who's actually going on Google. Okay, Adam, can you please go on Google, type in value meaning and read out what it says.
So it says, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something.
Okay, according to Google, right, the meaning of value is the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or useful of something. So the word jumps out for me is importance or worth of useful of something. A lot of people, what they do basically, they come up with idea or a product or service, they put a price on it based on what they know. But what we should be focusing on is the importance. Is this what I'm creating is important for the people I'm creating for? Is it worth? What is it worth for them? Or usefulness, is it useful to my client? right? So how many ways you can actually add more value to your customer? How many of you have sat down and thought about this? Listen, if everybody's talking about add more value, then what can I do to basically add more value compared to price? How many of you have sat down and thought adding more value and came up with a list of the things that you can actually do to add more value? How many of you did that? Raise your hand if you did. Okay, fantastic. We want to hear from you. Jeanette, you were saying something on this.
Yes, I've been developing this over the weeks we've been here, Gagan.
Okay.
And basically, I have taken the thought process or the worry of the thought process away from my customer. So basically, they are telling me what they want, and then I'm going away, getting it for them, then bringing it back with them.
Okay.
So they don't have to do anything apart from talk to me, and I do it for them. So for that, the importance is what I am giving them and the time that I am putting into what I am giving them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Anybody else? How many ways? Peter, yes?
One of the ways I thought of, which was after last week's discussion, actually, when I was thinking of pricing, and that was getting together with somebody else in my BNI chapter so that what I could offer was not only for me to write a web page for them, but say, you know, I'll do the web page for the About Us section.
Yeah.
But included in that, you know, my cost or whatever would be a photographer.
Okay.
To actually take the pictures.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? How can you add? How many ways you can add value? I'm going to share with you minimum 3 to 4 ways. And within that, there's going to be subcategories. And you can add massive value and charge more money, because we'll talk about price in a second as well. So we have Marie, then we have Andy. Yes, Marie, and then Amy.
Thank you. Yeah, so just some of the things that I was from last week, actually, that our last session, I wrote down that I'm revisiting my ebook, and I'm going to write a new ebook also. And also I'm going to focus on some webinars, a series of webinars, and I'm not sure whether to offer them for free or to price them yet, but that's something else. And customer group. So I've got a customer group that is focusing on sharing information, top tips, and special offers. So individually inviting my customers to be part of an exclusive group where they're going to get extra benefits for being part of my customer group.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Andy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure it's answering the question, but I'll go for it anyway. The one example I've got is I offer maintenance for websites, and when I was transitioning over to the current level that I've got, I had a number of clients who were paying quite a bit less. So it was an initial offer that I gave them, that was sort of like half price for the monthly maintenance, but at the same time, I also reduced the things that I was going to do for them, and I made it really clear. So I said, you know, this is monthly maintenance, but I understand this is maybe a bit of shock. So if you want to have this one-time offer, we can go at this price, but I will chop out 2 or 3 things that I do for you.
Okay. Now
it was. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
want to listen to what you said, and basically we will review this as well. Look at this. I'm going to add value, which means the client you had, that client valued money, discount. You were giving discount, but at the same time you were taking something away. Mm-hmm. So is this way of adding value or not? Were you really adding value?
Well, no, I was taking it away, I guess, but it was adding value to me because I actually started charging them more.
It was adding value to you. Mm-hmm. Well, in business, we should be adding value to our customers. How do I add value? Right? How many of you basically sometimes you got stuck and you send me an email, I've booked a call with you, or sent you something out of my agreement with sales success system. Have I done that to some of you? Yes or no? If you got stuck, have I booked a call with you guys or helped you out of my contract? That's adding value. What is important for my customer? Adding value is basically what is important. Importance, it says, right? Importance, useful. What is useful for my customer? What is important for my customer? Right? So my customer, I want to add value the way which is important to them, right? But we'll talk about that, Andy. It's a great point you come up with. Thank you. Amy, you want to share something, right?
Yeah, I think it follows on from what you said there, really, and I think that's something that I've been building into the packages that I've been sending, which doesn't necessarily have a direct cost to me, but it represents value for the client. So that's things like incorporating quarterly reviews for them, or you know, as part of the price they get copywriting included, which for me there's a small cost for that, but for the client it saves them the hassle of having to sit and write their copy. So it's a big value to them. And I can show them that, you know, if they were paying for that, then that's how much it would cost, but I'm including it as part of the package, so they feel like they're getting a good deal. But I think those extra services of you know, call me or email me or message me whenever you've got an issue, it's that's regardless of whether you're on a maintenance plan or not, and I'll do my best to help you. And you know, yes, if there's some work that needs to be done that you want me to do, I'll tell you how to do it. But if you don't want to do it, you want me to do it, then I'll charge you a fair price for that. And then it's they know that they can come to me whenever they want help, and that I'll do my best to help them. And that's regardless of whether they are an old customer who's not a current customer, or whether they are an existing customer. So that's something that I've always done, that I feel sort of just, I want people to be able to know that they can talk to me regardless.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now Adam, I want you to do me one more favor. Can you please go on Google again and type in price meaning? Because we're talking about value versus price. Most people basically what they charge what they don't deserve, because they deserve more, right? They charge less than what they deserve. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Is he one of you who charges less than what you deserve? Right?
Okay.
So
can
let's
you hear
talk
me?
about the price.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it says the amount of money expected, required, or given in payment for something.
There you go. Is that clear? Let me repeat this. The amount of money expected, required, or given in payment for something. Something is what? Look at this now. Value meaning that something is held of deserve or important or worth. So which means, look at this. We are getting paid for the value. Money or price is just money expected in exchange of something is important, worth, or usefulness. How many of you know what I'm talking about here now? How many of you understand really price versus value? So we don't get paid, we don't expect money for a product or a service until it's important for your customer, or worth for your customer, or useful for your customer. Now, if you wanted to make more money, my question is, if you wanted to charge more money, could you create your product and services more worthy? Yes or no? Raise your hand. If you do, can you raise the worth of a product or service? Yes or no? Okay, fantastic. If you raise the value or worth of a product or services, can you expect more money back? Because money is what? Is a payment of something is worthy. Yes or no? How many of you know what I'm talking about here? Raise your hand if you. Good. Can you increase the usefulness of a product and services? Yes or no? Right? And if you up or increase the usefulness of a product and services, can you demand more money? Because payment price is what? Is a payment for something is either worth or important or useful to your customer. Yes or no? Okay. Can you create the importance of your product and services for your customers? Yes or no? Right? And then what? Can you ask for more money in return? Because price is what? Price is a payment for something which is held to be deserved, the importance, worth, or usefulness for your client. So do you really understand? I'm really breaking this down because you must have heard this word, add more value, get paid more. But do you really understand today that you make your product and services more important, more worthy, more useful for your customers, and in return, you get paid in the price? The question for you is, how much do you want to get paid? You could double the price. You can quadruple the price for your product and services. Then all you have to do is create the importance even greater in your customer's eyes. Worthiness of your product and services greater in your customer's eyes. And I think Andy said, or somebody said, your perception. So their perception, they should see the value of your product and services is way higher than what they're paying you. Any questions so far? Yes, Coral.
Sorry, Gagan, I get a bit stuck on this, and it's probably my own sort of worth or perception about things. I understand all what you're saying, and I get stuck on the point that coming into this business, very new, haven't got any clients. And so, you know, to be asking for an increase or a certain amount, it feels as though it's not right because I'm just starting out. You know what I mean? It's also about lack of my experience against other people's experience. So, you know, if I was to put those things into place, and like I said, it's probably my own thing, but being new in the interior design field, there's a lot of competition out there. So I just feel a bit stuck with that.
Thank you. Is there any profession where there's no competition on surface level I'm talking about? Every competition, there's so many business coaches, right? There's so many sales coaches, but I still have you guys here. Yes or no? Some of you have been on this course for 8 months, coming regularly. I must be doing something right. You must be getting value. I must be doing something right. There must be a good connection. Yes or no? The answer is adding more value. So there's competition everywhere else. It's just the mindset. There's always will be competition unless you basically become someone, say, listen, I want to create something, just like I'm going to universe now. I'm going to basically, build something on the Mars. Or somebody's like, I'm going to create internet. Until you go onto that level, otherwise, basically, there's going to be so much competition in every industry. See, one more thing I want to say to you, while you said the competition, if you focus on competition, you will find competition. If you focus on being unique, you'll find uniqueness. If you focus on being the best or considering yourself to be the best, you will find the greatness within you as well. Where is your focus? What you focus on expands. So it's so important to control your thoughts and focus on something, what you really want, what you're really going to help you. If you don't have money, don't focus on the money, focus on abundance. If you don't have the clients, don't focus on the clients, focus on abundance, more clients. Because wherever you focus, your action will be impacted by your focus. Could you please give yourself a big round of applause? I know there's a little deep silence I can feel, so please give yourself a big round of applause. So fantastic. Does that help you, Coral, with the question you asked, right?
Yes,
and
it does.
Also,
yeah, I think it's my thing rather than somebody else, yeah.
Thank you. So also, just to let you know, some people think I am new in the business. I don't have any client. Let me ask you one thing. Did you do your own interior designing for your own home? So wasn't that your client? So you have become your client. You trusted yourself to do your home. Yes or no? Now, have you helped any friend or family member coordinating color matching? Yeah. So there was exchange there, maybe appreciation, not the money, but was that a client as well if they implemented it? Have you worked with a company While you were doing it, have you helped somebody else doing it? Okay, so look into who have you helped, even free. You don't value that because you haven't got paid, but you have added value to them. They have taken your advice and implemented it. Could be one person, could be 10 people. So if you go by this, you'll find at least 10, 20, 30 people you already have. They were your client. The exchange was different. They didn't pay you. They may have paid you with appreciation. Thank you. I appreciate it. But they were still your client because they've taken your professional advice and they implemented it to improve their home. And that goes with every single of you. If you think I'm new in the industry, no, you are first of your client. If you have written a blog for yourself, you are your client. If you advise somebody, that's your client. Does that help, Coral? Fantastic, thank you. Could you please give Coral a big round of applause? Well done for asking a question. Great, anybody else so far? Do you really understand why people say add more value and get paid more? Do you understand that? Yeah. Are you clear on you add value and you increase your price? Because you cannot increase the price for product and services, but you can add more value. You can make your product or service important for your client or worthiness or usefulness, and you can charge a lot more money. It's in your hand. Who controls the prices, by the way? Who controls it from now onwards? Is it me or you or your customer? You do, absolutely. So if you want to make more money, if you want to increase your prices, charge more money by adding more value. Now, I'm going to share with you for 3 ways or 4 ways, I would say. And I'm going to give you some references how people have added value. 4 ways you can add value. And I'm going to show you some interesting ways to add value, which means the cost of your prices, so cost of your product or services do not go up, but the perception of your product and services goes up in your customer's eye or your potential customer's eye. Isn't that useful? How many of you think that's going to be useful? You don't have to spend a single penny, right? Or maybe a one-time small cost, but that becomes so much valuable for your customers. They say, listen, I want to buy from this person because I'm getting loads. I'll give you an example. When I was doing wedding videography, photography, at that time, so many people they were being stingy. They were like, oh, I'm going to charge, you want 2 extra sets of DVDs? I'm going to charge you extra £50. And I thought about this. I said, listen, once, in Asian culture, when people get married, they have large families. They want to send the DVDs to every single person. And I thought, how much a DVD cost? And they were literally £1 a DVD or 70p. I said, the total cost for me to producing these many DVDs go by £4 or £5 or £10. I started giving 10 sets within my package. Guess what? When customer went to somebody else to take a quotation, they were charging £50. I was giving 10 sets. I was adding more value because my cost for the DVDs was so low, but that won me so many customers. It's unbelievable. Because it was valuable for them. Not for me. They had a family in India, multiple states. They had family in Canada. They had family in America. They had family in Europe. They wanted to basically send the wedding DVDs to them. And I said, hey, I'll give you for free. My cost was literally small, but I won £5,000 worth of contract, £7,000 worth of contract, just by adding £5 or £10 worth of value. So I'm going to share with you 4 ways you can literally, I've learned this from Russell Brunson, amazing guy. Really look up to him when it comes to marketing sort of things. I learned a lot. Number 1, or there's no particular order. You can add value by written words. So just write it down at the moment. Written words. Number 2, that could be spoken words. Could be a physical product or miscellaneous products. So it depends on which industry you are in, right? And how do you basically use all these written words, spoken words, physical products or miscellaneous products. Written words. So could you look into your customer's buying journey? By the way, not next week, week after, we have an amazing session coming in. Please make sure you put that in your diary, and that's going to be value ladder. How many of you want your customer to buy from you again and again and again and again and again? Raise your hand. Right? Isn't that easy? Just get the customer once, right? But then they basically buy from you again and again and again and again. So I'm going to teach you how to create the value ladder. So how can you continue to add value and they continue to buy from you? Isn't that amazing, right? Zero cost. Once you acquire a customer, take them onto value ladder, right? And they keep buying from you all again and again, zero cost on marketing. I'm going to teach you that. Not next week, week after, because next week is all coaching, mentoring, and Q&A session. So please make sure you come in next week and the week after. Written words. So could you create a ebook which can help your customer, right? Could you do a blog or something in which has words? Now look at this. You get this thing done once, which means if you're good in writing, you can do it by yourself. Could be a leaflet you can create for something, which is valuable for a customer. So it's in order for you to do all this, you need to understand your customer and their behaviors. And we will talk about that. If you don't know, ask me and I'll teach you that too. So you add value by doing something in writing. You do it once, but then after that, you can keep giving to again and again and again and again. Spoken words. Spoken words, could you create something on YouTube, video format, right? Or could be a podcast on the issues or the challenges that your client may be having, giving some advice, because these days advice, people like free stuff, don't they? Right? Could you create basically a series of, let's say, customer has a problem, create a podcast series or a 3 video series or 5 video series and give it to them. But it has to, whatever you do, it has to solve your customers' challenges, problems. I'll give an example. Some of you asking these questions, I'm creating a Q&A. You don't be surprised if you see a video on YouTube very soon. Oh, how do I increase my prices? I've already answered this to you guys. I'll cut the video and thousands of people will watch it. I'm creating more value for people now, right? I can create a video series of all the question answers and give to my clients, which is valuable for them, right? Spoken words. So that could be, what else could be in spoken words? Anyone? What do you think could be in written words and spoken words? Anyone? Let's come up with the ideas now. So written words could be blog, could be newsletter, could be ebook. What else could be in written words? Yes, Amy?
So doing a workshop or a webinar. So the webinar could be one of those ones that goes out on a rolling basis that you can send out to people, or it could be one that you do live. But that would come under spoken words, and then you could have supported written materials to go with that. Okay. You can send out by email after.
Fantastic. So you could record a webinar. By the way, I've done that. If you have received any email from me, at the bottom, there's a consistent cash flow webinar. Done it once. So many people are going through it. Like, done it only once. So thank you for sharing that, Amy. So webinars, you can do it. You can record it once on Zoom. It doesn't cost you anything. You already have Zoom. Talk about this, create some slides, make it once and start giving to people. But put a price on everything. Because if it's taking you 3 hours, you charge £150 an hour, then you put down a price. I'm going to give you a video series of this, or I'm going to give you a podcast for this, valued at this much price. Because I charge £150 an hour, let's say, for you guys. If you say £150 an hour or £50 an hour, whatever. So you're going to time that by how many hours it took you to create that once. that becomes valuable for customers. Listen, I'm going to give you something which is £500 worth, but it's free. Okay, so Keith, you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Something.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the written. I was thinking of FAQs and wikis.
FAQs, create FAQs, create some podcast around the FAQs.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, wikis, thank you. Yes, Jay?
I've done a number of different styles of meditations and sound baths, which I record when I'm doing them, and I keep them on YouTube as unlisted, and then sort of package them up together and give them in the programs as extras for practicing. But what I'm not doing, which is what I'm learning now, is how to make it sound like it's added value with that price bracket that I'm looking for.
Put a price on it. If you have taken time out from a busy schedule, sat, researched, written down something, recorded something, write down how many hours it took you, hours multiply by your hourly rate. There's nothing free. You have given your time to it. Okay, do that. Thank you for sharing, Jay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, Barry, and then Ankit.
Yeah, do like a step-by-step guide to something. So a guide to do something. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to write down something. It's called PLR. And after that, PLR.com. There's millions of written material on there which you can buy for $2, $5, $10. And by the way, just to let you know, PLR.com or PLR, whatever. So let's say if you're a dietitian, you want to produce an ebook, go to PLR.com and type in ebook on this diet or this problem. Somebody has written an ebook to solve that problem, and they give you the right to change it, market it, sell it, and whatever, or put your name onto it. So what you do, you download that, you buy it for $3, $5, $10. And by the way, ebook, articles, everything is available in every field on PLR. PLR is called private label rights. So whoever has written a book or articles, 40 articles, 50 articles, whatever, they give you the right to use it on your website, or you can tweak it. So what you can do, you download it, read it, and tweak it and put your name onto it. Written by Marie or KL, Charlotte. And that's yours now. You can put value on it. $25, £50, £100, depends on what. And you can buy YouTube videos as well, by the way, like this. So either you can create it or you can buy it for a very small amount of money, PLR.com or PLR articles, PLR. So when you go on Google, you must search PLR. You must add that in front of it.
And I think I've just tried PLR.com, but it didn't come up. But PLR.me does. Is it PLR.me?
No, it's the PLRstore.com.
Yeah, PLRstore.com. I think I bought something from there a while ago. By the way, you could create some regular post from there as well. Buy, tweak it, and use it. Put your name on it, and you add value to it. This is how you're adding value to people. Yes, Joanne. And Joanne, by the way, good news for you. You could actually write something, different ebooks, 20 pages, 30 pages, and put it on there. It's a passive income. People are buying it.
That's on Amazon. That's what I was just wondering, really. Yeah.
No, you are a writer. You should be basically writing all this. I mean, millions of people, you'll be surprised. Could be 100 people buying it for $10. Guess what? It's free money. You wrote it once, gave other people the rights to use it. Oh, seriously, there's serious money in this. If you're a writer, please do think about PLR.com.
Business idea there.
Okay, passive income. Passive income.
I'm thinking that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Good. Are you learning something new today? Raise your hand if you're learning. Yeah, great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. So third one is what? Third one is physical products. Kale does quite well with that, physical products. She says, Okay, would you like to share? How do you add value by doing that? And you literally picked up a lot of sales last week, right? By doing this physical product. So Kale, please share. What did you do?
So I did quite a lot of events, and I think sometimes people can be put off by events because they feel like they have to, or they're going to be forced to purchase something. So I always start mine with, I just want you to have a great time. So if nothing else, roll up your sleeves, try all these products, get them all over you, have a right nice pamper, and just share it with 3 other friends. And generally what happens is they'll come to me and I'll give them some one-to-one advice tailored specifically to them. And then after that, they'll purchase and they'll go and tell 3 friends, or they'll even book an event as well. So just taking the pressure off straight away, it makes them feel, because some of them have never met me before, so they don't know like what kind of salesperson I am. But I find that just works really, really well by just saying, try everything. And see how it feels on your skin, smell it, experience it, and 9 times out of 10, that's people will buy it because they love it.
Okay, great, thank you. Could you please give Kale, Corel, and whoever spoke before a big round of applause? Thank you, and Jay. Thank you. Great. Another way, have you heard of money back guarantee? Have you heard of money back guarantee? What do you think that is? Making their product and services worthy. How much the worth is going to be if you say money back guarantee, right? Could you do that in your products and services, right? Create more importance than anybody else. You could do that. Yes, Kale, you want to share something?
Yeah, I was just going to say we do that. So we get, but I change it slightly and say that it's a 30-day happiness guarantee. So if you're not happy with your products or you're not getting the results that you're looking for, then you can either get a full refund or an exchange for another product. So there's nothing to lose really. And it does go down really well, because you can't go and buy something off a supermarket store and be able to take it back if it doesn't work for you.
Great, fantastic. You could do the exactly same thing. So your job is going to be basically make your product and services much more worthy, much more important, much more useful to your customer as much as possible. You want to take it to a level. Listen, if you're charging £100, if you're charging £100, the value for your product and services should be £1,000. So come up with ideas how you can take your product and services to £1,000, then offer it to basically offer for £100. Now, do you think if you were to do that, what do you think people will do? Will they take your product and services? Yes or no? Right? And sometimes, offer guarantee, offer results. Many coaches, they are not offering results. So what do? How do I become more valuable to my customer? How do I make my product and services more worthy than other coaches? If you look at sales success system, which you have seen it says, my promise to you. How many of you have seen my promise to you? That I will make sure that you will grow your income from between 20% to 200% while you're on this program. Yes or no? Right? So customers feeling safe. They're saying, this, if I'm spending with Gagan, I know I'm going to make money back. And I'm backing it up by helping people, making sure they win. Results are here. KL basically increase your income. Amy, Marie, so many people, more coming up. So that's why program is for 12 months. Right? Offer results. Be unique. How can you be unique? Be honest, by the way. Is honesty a great value? Yes or no? Right? Be honest. So talk about the honesty. Talk about, listen, we are actually very honest with the clients. Integrity is very high value. It's not found in many people, by the way. Right? Integrity. 30 days. Okay, yeah, I'm reading this 30-day happiness guarantee. Sounds great. Fantastic. Samples. I remember when I was a kid, we used to get, even now, do you get small miniatures of shampoos? I remember clearly, basically, a while back. It's the small sachets, Pantene or something like this. I don't know. I used to get that. And we used to be so happy. It's a squeeze, wash your hair and everything. Those were the days when I had hair, but listen, that was a wrong topic. I shouldn't have talked about it. Keith is saying, Gagan, what have you done? Sorry. Sorry, okay. And Barry is thinking it's the same thing as well. Yeah, So what they were doing by giving you that, they were adding value to you. They were actually creating the importance of their product and services. I have a friend, he's in Wales, and basically he's got a restaurant. Now listen, imagine, how does he add value? I want to share with you as many as ideas I can share with you so you can create a lot more value. And what I'm going to do, I want to hold you accountable for next week. I want you to show up next week and share with every single person that how many ways you have come up to add value to your clients. How many of you are willing to take the challenge? Raise your hand. Let's see. Okay. So you are going to implement it. Good, fantastic. So you will work on your customer, understand your customer, and will come up with many ways to bulk up and add value and put a price to it as well. Put a price to the value as well. Let's see how much you can take it up to. It should be 10 times more. It should be. Then what happens is it'll become like no-brainer. £1,000 worth of stuff, I'm getting for £100. It's a steal. Does it make sense? So you're going to create the value for that much. Okay, my friend I was sharing with you, he's got restaurants. So customer comes in. Normally, most people when they go, they are hungry, and most people are not experimental in my eyes. But I may be wrong here. So sometimes they order same dishes. Yes or no? Yeah, same dishes. So what this person does, they have ordered everything. So he will say to his chef, oh, do you know what, can you create a small portion of this dish as well? So he would create it and surprise his customers. So he'll go and put it on the table. Hey, this is something new. Try, taste it. And next time the customer will come in, they will want another thing as well, and another thing as well. So he built his business by adding value, by helping people tasting different stuff. First of all, many restaurants don't do that. But because he consistently done, he built greater, deeper relationships with the customer. He's not charging for something, extra portion of a small portion of something new. But as a result, people are starting trying different stuff as well. And they started telling other people as well. And guess what? People are coming repeatedly. Why? Because sometimes they ate one thing, but now they're coming for the second thing. Oh, today, you know what? We'll try something different. We'll have something different. So revisits, went up for him because people had more variety. So this is how he actually built deeper connections. Okay. Have you heard of buy one, get one free? What do you think they're doing? They're making their product and services more important and more worthy, right? Everybody does that. So I want you to basically look into, your own product and services, what exactly you're offering. And actually, you can do this as well. You can look at your competitors, how they work, what is the full package. And then on top of that, if you can increase the value, worthiness, importance of your product and services, guess what? Then you deserve to charge more money as well. Any question on how you can charge more for your product and services? Any question on this? Anyone? Okay, yes, Thomas?
I'm wondering whether I had an estate agent, and it was a large sort of 10-acre field, and I did an aerial map as a way to dangle a carrot in front of them so that, okay, they could, as well as having a 3D model, they could get an overhead photo that they can draw a line showing the boundary. Now, that wasn't the original quote. Is that adding value, or is that selling more than you probably should be doing?
So can you please explain that? I just want to understand it better before.
I was doing the estate agency photography and aerial photography
for
a property.
Yeah.
It was a house with stables and pony paddock, 10 acres, right? So did the aerial filming, the aerial photography, the interior photography, and the virtual tour. Okay. Right. Standard stuff, £500 plus VAT, job's good. But as an extra, I did an aerial photography, an aerial map with the drone over the thing. Yes, it cost me a little extra, but the idea behind my head was to try and show the client what I was possibly capable of, but effectively it was adding value. Is that or am I doing myself? Because there was a slight cost to me in doing that, but is it, would you say that is advertising, or is that, what would you reckon?
This is basically, to me, you added more value than what you committed, right? And now, as a result of that, this person basically will appreciate it. But listen, my question is, again, you gave it based on understanding, the customer wanted that? Do you think it's valuable for the customer?
It's valuable for the customer in that they then used the straight overhead picture that it generated from it to draw the boundary.
What would have done is basically, I would have sent another email saying, add the price for that. Because what happens is, sometimes, listen, this is a good question you asked, Thomas, and a lot of people will make mistake here and have been making mistakes. How many of you have been giving a lot of time to people? Raise your hand. And you don't say, oh, you have a half an hour meeting, but you give extra, generously extra 1 hour to them, right? When was the last time you put time on valued your time and told people, listen, I'm going to give you extra, but this is how much you're worth. If people don't know the value or worth of what you're given, they won't realize it. It's like charity. So if they don't know what was the worth of that extra shot, they won't realize it. So it's literally, you've done something, it's gone down the drain. If they don't understand it. So you've got to make sure people understand what you're giving them, and they really know how much that's every single thing worth. I want, please, every single one. I want you to value every single thing you do for your customers. You're giving 20 minutes, put time on it. You're writing an email. Listen, tell me one thing. If a solicitor sends an email, do they charge? They know the real value of their time, right? You pick up a phone call, the meter goes up. Everything you do, whether you take the money from there or no, but you should have that in your paperwork, agreement, contract. Research, how long it takes you to research sometimes before you start writing things or do things. Put time into it.
Sorry, Gagan.
Everything you do, write, this is what you're doing. Actually, this way, you can work this way as well. Write down the full process of, acquiring a client and finish. Write the full process, every single thing. Oh, I'm going to have a meeting. I'm going to have a phone call for 5 minutes. I'm going to have a review call for 20 minutes. I'm going to have final call this minute. I'm going to have this. Write down the full process, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and start putting money towards it. 5 minutes call, this much money. 20 minutes call, this much money. Research, this much money. This much money. Every single thing you do, write down money on it. And please make sure you have that in your agreement. So potential customer can see that how much is involved in the whole process, and then you drop it down. That's fine. Listen, I'm going to charge you £500. But guess what? I'm giving the value of £5,000. Listen, Thomas, did you charge for traveling, leaving home 2 hours before? Traveling 5 hours? Maybe not.
No, it was only half an hour to get to the site. No, okay. I didn't, because it was a short thing. But hold on. You think it's a short thing, but customers should have known. Total shoot is going to be that many hours, but I'm only charging this much. Then they will start valuing it. Otherwise, guess what? They won't value it because they don't know what they don't know. It's not their fault. So the best way to do this, write down the full process, start to finish, and I would suggest you to work backwards. In the sense, basically in reverse order. So customer picked up their product or services, finalized, and what did you do one step before that? One step before that. Break it down from that very first single phone call or the very first communication, and then write down how many hours, and then put a value to it. And every product you're giving to them, write down what you gave to them and add that proper price to it. And you make sure your customer knows that this is what it's worth, but I'm going to give you for this much. And guess what? Your conversion rate goes up. So you will see that your conversion rate will go up if you start writing your agreement in this way. Does that help, Thomas? Yes. I did
Fantastic, fantastic,
I did
fantastic.
quickly say that I got so hacked off with getting authorizations for flight restriction zones. It's a time-consuming amount, and I just got so hacked off. I charged the standard £150 plus VAT fee because it was just taking too much time.
Write it down. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Good. Fantastic. Very quickly, can you please type in the chat box the one thing you learned today? Only one thing. Type in the chat box very quickly, and then we will close the call today. What is the one thing you learned today? Some of you are thinking, one thing, very hard. Value everything you do. That's fantastic. Do value added. Okay, great. Thank you. One thing you learned. Yes, Ankit, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I've got a question. I've got a client that we're doing her wedding for in 2 months' time. Now she's come back and her venue's approximately 50 minutes drive from my place and 50 minutes back. She'd asked if I can do a site visit, and she is in a way demanding the way her messages are written that I should do it. Now it's going to cost me a day, and she asked it to me as a question saying, do you do site visits? And I said, I can do site visits. However, I'll have to charge for it. Okay. Now, it went a bit quiet after that.
That would be because it's not been done before. It's not in the context. It should have been done before in the agreement, site visit, in the contract, this much money. If you haven't done it, take you on the chin. Hey, but do say, do you know what? It's going to be one day for me, and one day is worth this much, £500. But you know what? For you, I'm not going to charge you. It's complimentary.
Right. You think I should do it free, or should I still charge? I mean, it's still time and money, right? This
is the decision you have to make. To me, if I put everything in the context code, right? If it's not a contact, then could be just, then you can negotiate. It's entirely up to you. I wouldn't. I used to do this free, by the way. I used to do visit. I used to control the whole thing. So this was, I'm not gonna, because I was charging a lot of money up front. So I calculated that in there, and I gave all this free.
Right.
So you want to, because what happens is every client is treat every single customer as your representative, sales representative. Now you have to think basically for extra £100 or £200 is going to cost you. What is it going to cost you afterwards? That's what you have to think about long term. Right? Good, fantastic. So value versus price, clear about good, fantastic. Do you know what? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Listen, it's been over hour. That's fantastic. Okay, lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, and pat your back. Say, well done. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Good luck. God bless. Is there anything anybody want to share before we go? Anybody else want to share something before we go? No? Fantastic. Listen. Are you committed? Are you committed to basically look into your product and services and write down many ways, at least, can I say at least about 10 ways, because we're 10xing your profit, your prices. Can you come up with 10 ways to add more value to your customers, clients? Is that okay? Is that a deal? And next week, I want you to basically share that with each other here in the room. And not only that, if you're stuck, we'll help you as well. Okay? On that note, good luck, God bless, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Gagan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gagan.